Okay, now what we're going to want to do is get our 5 LEDs, whichever colors that you ended up choosing. Make sure that you identify what the shorter leg is and what the longer leg is. You can see I have a shorter leg, longer leg, and all of the short holes are going to go into the hole that has the black mark, and the long ones will go directly above it. Alright, so we'll start at this top one here. So I'm going to put this one in. I'll push it down so that it's seated on the board as far down as I can get it. Okay, like that. Okay. Then what we'll do is we'll bend the short leg. We're going to bend the short leg over all the way so that it actually goes right on top of that thick solid line right next to it. Okay? And then what we're going to do is we're going to cut that off right about there. Okay? So you can see that we want to solder that onto that solid line and the hole that it came through. And for the long leg, we're just going to bend that over a little bit at a slight angle, and then we're going to solder everything up. Okay, so make sure that your tip is clean on your soldering iron, and once you're ready to go, you might want to tape your circuit board down to the table so it doesn't move. You can put a little bit on the tip, touch the pad and the leg of the part, feed the solder in, remove the solder, remove the iron. Okay, so this is my first solder connection, this was the long leg here, and we can trim it right off at the top. Right. And then for the other solder connection, you'll see when I'm done here, and this will be the same for all 5 of the LEDs. But what we're going to do is we're going to solder it, the hole that it came through, and we're going to solder it onto that solid line. Okay. So there's a close-up of it. It's soldered from the hole that it goes through and to the solid line. Okay. Alright, so that's one LED in. We've got this top one soldered and we've got these soldered. Okay. You'll also, it's hard to take to notice it on this one, but you need to make sure that solder doesn't go in between these lines this way. It's okay if solder ends up following down the line this way because you'll see that that copper is already connecting those, but we just don't want it to jump from one row down to another row or up to another row. Okay. Alright, so let's put in one more LED. Next LED, again, long leg into the hole above, short leg into the hole below. Push it down, take the short leg, bend that over to the line, get it cut, and so you can see I cut it there, and this one will just bend a little bit, then we'll go ahead and get soldered. First I'll solder the long leg, then I'll solder the short one, then I'll solder it to the line. Okay, trim my wires up. Alright, so, yep, soldered my long leg right here, short leg, and then also to the line with the bend over. We'll repeat that a few more times. Next LED, same thing. Long leg into the hole above the black one. Put it in. You can see it's pushed down all the way. We do want to make sure that these LEDs are straight, so if you notice that one's crooked, you might be able to melt it on the back a little bit, like I just did, to kind of wiggle that one back into position. Okay. Alright, so put it in. Bend the short one over to the line. And solder the long one, solder the short one, and I forgot to clip it, so let me clip it before I solder it to the line. Oops. long leg into the hole above, short leg into the black hole, bend the short leg over to the line, trim it, and solder. And solder to the line. And the last LED. Long leg to the hole above the black one. Oops. Bend the short leg over to the line. Cut it. And then solder. And trim it up. Now we'll take care of the 5 LEDs. So every one of the short legs has been soldered. It's been bent over and soldered to that thick line. All of the long legs just have came through the hole and you solder it right where it comes through.